Here is the whole kit laid out on the bench, and all of this in a lightweight backpack, everything included, 10.2 pounds. Hello, welcome to WayPoint Survival. Today, we're gonna talk about day hike preparedness. Along with me, I have my 12-piece, 10-pound pack. We're out here at a beautiful park and hiking trail at the edge of Appalachia. And the trailhead starts right there where those signs are. And we're gonna do some day hiking. But one of the things that I always like to do is I like to make sure that I have the right kind of equipment and that it doesn't weigh too much. It doesn't matter how old you are or how strong you are, a lot of weight on the trail can just make it uncomfortable. So as I said in the intro, I've got a 12-piece, 10-pound kit that I think you're gonna really like. There's some neat items in here, some things that you'll be able to maybe get some ideas from. So let's get started. It's a little overcast and cloudy, but the sun is peeking through every once in a while. But before we get started, I really want to talk to you about some of the selection and the choices that you make before that you go on the trip. So this is the one that I have selected, and it's not very heavy. It has some nice pockets. Again, zippered pockets, place for a decent sized water bottle, but it's not overly complicated. It doesn't weigh a whole lot. It is a rucksack. It doesn't have any kind of a frame in it, but it holds enough gear, as you will see in a little bit when I show you what's actually inside of this. As you go through the preparations for your day hike, there are some very important questions that you need to ask yourself. First of all, what kind of terrain am I liable to run into? Is it going to be wet? Is it going to be dry? Is it going to be mountain? Is it going to be desert? Am I hiking along a beach? There's all kinds of questions, and those will help to influence your choice of gear as well as the clothes that you wear. The second question that you need to ask is, what kind of weather are we going to have? Is it going to be sunny? Is it going to be overcast? Is it going to be rainy? Is it going to be cool? Is it going to be really hot? All of those will definitely affect what you choose as far as the clothes you wear and even the things that you carry in your pack. Of course, most of us today, we all have the advantage of having an app on our smartphones, so we can check that in advance. We should definitely look 24 to 48 hours out, as well as the current day that we're hiking in, just to see what it's going to do. The number 3 question that we need to ask ourselves is, what kind of hazards am I going to experience when I'm out on the trail? Will there be snakes? Am I hiking around cliffs? Am I perhaps going into a rocky area where I could easily twist an ankle, cause a mechanical injury to my legs? All of these items play into what we're going to select when it comes to the clothes and the gear that we wear. Most of you will notice that in a lot of my videos, I'm wearing these black shirts. These are made by Dickies Workwear, and I really like them. They're a 40-60 cotton polyester blend. They are quick drying, and they don't show a lot of sweat or dirt, so they're really great for the trail. I also like to wear a pair of quick drying pants, and these are made by Wrangler. They're sold at Walmart. They're about $30 or less, depending on where you find them, but I really like the extra pockets. I don't have a whole lot of things in the hip pockets. That way I can carry everything here or in the zippered cargo pocket so I don't lose anything. I also like to wear nice thick wool hiking socks, and these are going to help keep you from sweating. They're also going to help you keep from getting a lot of blisters and things as you're hiking on the trail. One of the best ways to keep from twisting an ankle or causing other mechanical injury to your feet is to have good sturdy hiking boots, at least ankle high. And with that, I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Tecovas Boots. The boots that I'm wearing are the Tecovas Long Haul Waterproof Mock Composite Toe Boot. I really like them because of the overall good looks, the total waterproof construction, as well as the stability that they give me, both on the trail in the backcountry, as well as in camp and just walking around. As a matter of fact, you could even wear them for more formal occasions. All you got to do is clean them up a little bit and wear them to town. They come pre-oiled from the factory and they're easy to maintain. Simply use a bristle brush and a little water and the dirt and mud comes right off. You can use a proper oil to retreat the leather when needed, and Tecovas sells a basics care kit, which you can see on the screen right now. And this kit has all the items that you need for the proper care and longevity of the premium leather of your boots. So if you're in the market for a solid, durable pair of boots that can handle the rigors of the trail, as well as provide very comfortable everyday boots, then look no farther than Tecovas. They have many offerings, all the way from work boots like this to many different kinds of cowboy boots. You can check out their website and you can see the many offerings that they have. You can click on the link in the description box below, or you can use the QR code that's been showing on your screen. I really like my Tecovas boots, and I think that you will too. All right, well, that's enough about what I'm wearing right now. We'll get into the pack here in a little bit. I do have my sturdy hiking stick with an attached rag for visibility, also an extra sweat cloth if I should happen to need it, but we're gonna head out. There are numerous creeks that flow through this area. Well, we made it. It was a nice hike through some wonderful country. You saw some of that in the video. Beautiful edge of the Appalachians. I'll show you a little bit here in a minute what that looks like. It's a lot of farms and beautiful country here. It is very windy up on this ridge, so I apologize for any wind noise that you might hear. I've always really liked this view back here behind me. I think it's just gorgeous. Great big valley, and again, farmland and houses and just the forest here in the eastern woodlands, and the bright green of spring. Got the sun peeking through every once in a while, but again, it is very windy, so we're gonna go to a little more secluded place, and we're gonna find a place to lay out the gear and show you what that all looks like. So we've reached a place where there's some sunshine, a bench, and not a whole lot of wind. So let's talk about this pack. As I said in the beginning, this is a pack made by SOG, S-O-G, Special Operations Group, and they used to sell this at Walmart. Now, I will try to put some links down in the description box where you can purchase, if not the exact same items, at least something similar to what I have here. But I like this because it's nicely padded and it rides really well on the back. It does have a chest or sternum strap right here, so that's nice to keep it together. It has enough zippers, but not too much. There's a top pocket here where you can carry like some snacks, or if you want to carry your toiletries or emergency kit or first aid kit or something like that. I don't usually do that, but I think that this pack is really well made and it's perfect for a day pack. Again, it's enough to hold an 18 or 20 ounce bottle. So this will be our first item, a stainless steel single walled bottle. Then digging into the outside zipper, we have the things that we would want to access the most readily. And I already mentioned one of them. I have here a roll of toilet paper and some cleaning wipes. So this is not something that we have to use, but if you need it, it's good to have it. It's item number 2. Next, in this outside pouch here, there's a couple of pockets. And we have a small first aid kit. This is a crash kit. This is actually sold for bicyclists, motorcyclists, things like that. This is a crash pack made by Brave Soldier. I've had this for quite a while, but in here there's betadine, there's some wipes, there's Bayer aspirin, there's all types of emergency medications, things that I might need or use. There's also at the very top an extra emergency blanket, and that would be really good if I run into somebody that is hypothermic and something else doesn't work. So this is a really nice, very compact and very lightweight first aid kit that I like to carry in a kit like this. In the next outside pocket right here, I have a large Tic Tac bottle, and inside this Tic Tac bottle I have a headlamp and extra batteries. I carry them in Ziplocs. Now these are the Energizer lithiums. They are quite a bit more expensive, but they have a 20-year shelf life. I've never had them leak or corrode, and I've been using them for many, many years. And I also have a Petzl Zipka. This is the kind that has the retractable headband. Unfortunately, you can no longer get these, but they do make the Takina, which is a small headlamp and which works quite well. And you should be able to fit it inside of the large Tic Tac. But this has a really long life. I believe this gets something like 140 hours on 3 batteries. So there's 3 full sets of batteries for it. So you can do the math, 3 times 140 hours. I have a lot of extra light in a very lightweight package. Next, in this inside zipper, I just have a pair of unlined leather gloves. And these are great for building shelter and gathering firewood, especially if you're in a place like I live where there are a lot of spiders, black widows and brown recluse and things like that. Plus there's just a lot of thorns around. And it's really nice to be able to, have this so you can reach in and grab a hold of things and build your fire without worrying about getting bit. It's also really convenient when you're boiling or cooking over the fire and you need to reach in and quick and grab out something that's hot, the water is boiling, you can do that without burning yourself. Next, opening the main compartment, we have some trail snacks. I have some pork skins, cracklings. Also have some zero sugar smoked sausage. So these are non-refrigerated, they're easy to carry, it's a quick snack, I don't have to cook anything. So there's a lot of calories there, both fat and protein, and fat is especially important if it gets cool at night. It's going to help me stay warm. Speaking about staying warm, it's important to have a good fire kit. And I have a video on a slightly larger one than this, but this carries everything that I need. We have a Bic lighter here, we have some fat wood, we have a really nice Swiss Army knife with the large locking blade, but it also has a very good saw. And that's super important, again, if you're going to be spending an overnight in an emergency situation, which we hope doesn't happen, and that's why we have this kit. We have the striker and ferro rod here. We have some fat rope stick for a quick fire starter. There's a pouch here in the rear, and in here we have some shredded tulip poplar bark, and that's just a natural thing that we can carry. It's flat, doesn't weigh much. Keep that for emergency fire starting along with everything else. And then in the back, we have a zip tie for repair if we should happen to break a backpack strap. We also have a small and compact Silva compass, which has a mirror on it, which is great for signaling, as well as seeing if you've got a tick on your body somewhere you can't see easily, or a speck in your eye, something like that. And then we also have a small bellows. And this is just made from the handle of something. You can pull this out, of course it extends quite a bit, and you use this to blow onto your fire. The next item that I carry is an emergency blanket, and this is the poncho style that has a hood. You can't buy the hooded type any longer. They're out of production, but a survival blanket is just fantastic for shelter. Again, if you have to do an emergency overnight in the woods. If I should have to do an overnight, which is the reason for having a pack like this, I have a Grand Trunk hammock, and these are so small and compact that I also have the straps in here with it. And these are Dyneema straps along with some heavy-duty carabiners. If we have a hammock, we also need to have some sort of a cover, and this is a tarp poncho made by Sea to Summit. And this is large enough to go over the top and completely cover the hammock so that I can be covered if it rains. And this is also something that I can wear. The advantage to having 2 of these, so this is also a poncho as well as this would go over top of my shelter, and this would be, if there's a friend with me, someone that I meet that would need some help. It's also really helpful if there's hypothermia, something like that. You can use this to warm someone up. So you can see what the hammock looks like when it's set up. Plenty of room for me to get in. Makes a great seat if there's nowhere else to sit down. Of course, we've got the cover overhead. I've got it thrown back, but I already have the stick attached to this end so that when it comes time for me to spend the night, I can just simply put it in like this, push it into the ground, hammer it tight, Now we have a shelter that goes all the way across. And of course, if it blows really hard, it's a terrible storm, it's not going to work that great. You would want to have the tarp and the hammock a little closer together, but this gives a little bit of breathing room. So generally speaking, if you're just spending the night and you're kind of concerned about maybe the dew falling on you or it's a little bit cold, I can wrap up in that, put on my clean dry socks, put on my hat, my gloves, extra pair of pants if I want for warmth, wrap up in the thermal blanket, the space blanket, and I can have a semi-comfortable night just like this. And so the hammock with the straps as well as the poncho for the cover, both extremely small, very lightweight, and there's not really a good reason why I shouldn't carry these in a day pack. The next item that I carry in this small canvas pouch is a pair of waterproof pants. And when you're wearing a poncho, the problem is the water drips down the poncho and onto your legs and then runs down inside of your boots. So this is just a pair of slip-on waterproof pants and just a waterproof membrane, a lot like Frog Togs. But this is sufficient for me to be able to keep my legs dry while I'm wearing the poncho if it turns out to be a rainy day. Next, I have an extra pair of socks. And if you've seen my video on socks, these are bright orange, and so these can be used for signaling as well as a warm, dry pair of socks that I can put on, because after you hike during the day, often your feet are a little bit sweaty. And then finally, last but not least, I have an extra hat for nighttime, as well as a pair of gloves. Now I have the leather gloves, but I also have these, and these are extremely useful for keeping your hands warm at night, or we could put them inside the other gloves and have a double glove configuration. Here's the whole kit laid out on a bench, and let's give you a close-up of that again. So our water bottle and headlamp, gloves, our food, the toiletries, first aid kit. We have the poncho and the hammock and shelter, our fire kit. We have the extra socks and waterproof pants, as well as the hat and gloves. And all of this in a lightweight backpack, everything included, 10.2 pounds. So as soon as I drink a little bit of the water, as soon as I eat some of the food, I have a sub 10-pound pack. Again, very light, very easy, and it covers pretty much all of the things that I need to cover for an emergency situation. Thanks so much for watching. It's time for me to head on down the trail. This is James Bender for WayPoint Survival. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also make sure and check out the links in the description box below, just under the More button. While you're down there, you'll also find a link where you can purchase your very own pair of Tecovas boots. You'll also find our WayPointSurvival.com link, which is where you can sign up to take in-person classes at our beautiful training facility in Southern Ohio. You will also find our link where you can purchase the WayPoint Survival digital class, which is where we teach the top 20 survival items that we consider to be the most important in our Phase 1 survival and bushcraft class. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it. And when you do subscribe, make sure and press that bell button so that you can stay notified of all of our upcoming videos, and we'll talk to you next time.